A fan asked Giselle if she was healthy, and her response was basically, "It's hard for a K-pop star to be healthy." And honestly, I believe her. Like, of course it's hard to be healthy when your face and body are being inspected every single day, and your company needs you to look exactly the same every time you come back. But Giselle's livestream also made me think about something people keep dancing around. K-pop has entered its Ozempic era. I'm not saying Giselle admitted to taking GLP-1s. What I'm saying is that female idols are getting thinner and thinner, and it's all happening at the exact same time that South Korea has had a massive explosion in weight loss injections. Think about it. For years, K-pop didn't hide how it kept idols thin. The diets were basically part of the content. We got the paper cup diet, the IU diet, or hello, does anyone remember the Momo diet? These groups would casually explain the most miserable thing you've ever heard, but the suffering was public because it was part of the idol story. They wanted the comeback so badly that they ignored their hunger, practiced all night, dropped the weight, and showed up looking perfect. But current K-pop is different. The companies learned that openly telling fans an idol is starving isn't showing how much they want the fame. It's only showing how much they abuse their artist. So now everything is about health and wellness, but somehow the actual body standard has gotten more extreme. That's the part everyone dances around. Because think of the diets I just named. How much more extreme can you get than eating only ice cubes for a week straight? There's clearly something new happening. So when people act shocked at the suggestion that GLP-1s are being used, I'm confused. This is an industry that's been searching for easier ways to make already thin women thinner for decades. You really think they saw the most powerful appetite-suppressing drugs to hit the mainstream and decided to leave those alone? And Korea's stats back that idea up, because between January 2020 and June 2025, Saxenda and Wegovy were prescribed more than 1.1 million times in South Korea, and women made up over 70% of the patients. There's also reports of the drugs being prescribed to people who are already at a normal weight and even people who are underweight. Then Mounjaro arrived, and the market got even bigger. Wegovy and Mounjaro were receiving nearly 169,000 prescriptions in a single month, which is insane since the Korean population is only around 51 million. The Korean government is now tightening control over these medications because cosmetic misuse has become so widespread. So no, this isn't an American trend that K-pop fans are randomly projecting onto Korea. Korean celebrities have already talked publicly about taking these drugs. Shindong from Super Junior said he tried Wegovy, and K.Will openly discussed losing 14 kilograms in 2 months while using Mounjaro along with diet and exercise. So the drugs are there, and celebrities are using them. Even normal weight people are getting access to them to the point where the government is worried about misuse. But somehow the one industry built around extremely thin celebrities is supposed to be completely untouched. Be so serious. We're not stupid for noticing that the transformations feel different now. If we keep seeing idols who are already thin look noticeably smaller between comebacks that are only 3 months apart, then is it really crazy that fans are asking what happened? And I hate how the answer is always busy schedules, or dancing, or just naturally forgetting to eat. Like, could these be true for some idols? Obviously, yes. But do I believe those explanations cover this entire industry-wide shift? Absolutely not. The argument isn't one idol, it's the timing. When you mix the fact that K-pop is entering its thinnest era at the exact moment these drugs have become wildly popular and easier to access, and the fact that the old public starvation stories have mostly disappeared even though the results have become more extreme, on top of the fact that companies benefit from every part of this while never having to admit anything, it leads to the perfect cocktail mix for abusing weight loss medication. People keep imagining that a company would have to officially hand an idol a needle for this to count as an industry problem. A company only has to tell a 17-year-old trainee that the other girls are closer to debut because they look better on camera, and the pressure does the rest. And the result matters even more inside a group, because K-pop fans do not judge these women individually, they line them up. The second one member looks bigger than the others, that becomes her role. She can be thin by every normal standard, but beside 3 girls who are even smaller, she becomes the big member. And this also explains why I don't expect idols to start admitting it. The old starvation diets were presented as hard work, and taking medication is seen as cheating. The second an idol admits they used one, fans will go through every old picture, every meal they've ever eaten, and start accusing other members. The fans would basically turn one admission into a group hate train. So the industry has every reason to keep the method private. I mean, nobody sees what happens at a private clinic. And to be clear, I'm not saying every thin idol is taking GLP-1s. I'm saying I think these medications are already being used in K-pop far more than fans want to admit. And their availability is changing what companies and audiences believe an idol body should look like. The scary part isn't even whether one specific idol took Ozempic. The scary part is what happens when medically assisted thinness becomes the new baseline. Girls watching at home will try to recreate a body without having access to the thing that may actually be creating it. Trainees will think they failed because ordinary dieting cannot keep pace with a chemically suppressed appetite. And idols who don't want to participate will still probably be pressured to do it. The K-pop starvation era isn't over. The industry just discovered a shiny new tool they use to abuse young trainees and idols. So when Giselle says it's hard for a K-pop star to be healthy, I believe her. I just think we need to start being honest about how many new ways this industry has found to make health almost impossible. So, do you think K-pop is already in its Ozempic era? Or do you think I might be reaching? Make sure to let me know below, and make sure to also subscribe to Nugu-pilled for more K-pop deep dives.